change is in the wind. For 1970, we asked the wind to design a car. Torino, 1970. Wider, longer, lower. Torino, 1970, molded into a sweeping new aerodynamic shape. This year, go with the wind. Torino, 1970. Ford gives you better ideas. It's the going thing.
Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing. Welcome to Racing in the Past Lane for bracket number 2, as we are going to get into the next 32 and see who's going to face the Scale Racing Channel in the final race to decide who is Racing in the Past Lane's fastest stock car. We have a track temperature of 69 degrees. Despite what's going on outside, it's a good day to go racing. Staged and ready in lane number 1 is Raging Ricky in his 70 Dodge Charger, Roger Dodger. He'll be taking on Blue Line Racing in his 50th anniversary Mustang, qualifying number 2. Raging Ricky, qualifying number 63. Racing in the Past Lane bracket 2 is underway. Wow, 2055, let's switch lanes. 2055 is the time to beat. Wow, 2056, Blue Line moving on to round number 2. Next up in the blocks in lane number 1, all the way from Germany, qualifying 31st overall, Ralph Udo Racing in his 50th anniversary Mustang. In lane number 2, qualifying 34th overall in the 50th anniversary Mustang from Your Nightmare Racing. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Wow. Ralph Udo, 2067 to 72. Let's switch lanes. 2067 is the time to beat. 2062, Ralph Udo Racing, going on to round number 2. Next 2 up, staged and ready in lane number 1 from Finland. It is Northern Roads Racing in his Fast and Furious Dodge Charger. And in lane number 2, qualifying 47th overall in his Roadrunner. Northern Roads qualifying number 18. Who gets down the lane first? Wow, good race. 68 to 80 will switch lanes. 2068 is the time to beat. Good race. Charger again with a 66. Northern Roads Racing moving to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1, qualifying 15th overall in his 67 Shelby. He'll be taking on a 67 Camaro from Puffs Racing, qualifying 50th overall. It's the classic Ford versus Camaro. Let's see that Mustang roll. Wow, Mustang getting out on him. 2065 to 84. 2065 is the time to beat. Wow, Mustang never looked back. 2059, moving Bavarian Diecast to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready, qualifying 55th overall in lane number 1 in his 65 Mercury Comet. It is Navi Ridge Dragway, Victor Fastlane. Taking on in lane number 2, qualifying 10th overall, driving the Fast and Furious Roadrunner, Captain K from Captain K's Racing. Who gets down the lane first? Wow, Roadrunner. Woo! 2055, oh my Lanta. 2055 is the time to beat. Wow, Roadrunner not looking back. 2060 sends Captain K to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1. Qualifying 23rd overall in his blue Shelby Mustang, Numbskull Racing. Taking on the 42 overall qualifier in his 69 GTO, Variant Skunkworks. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Good race. 71 to 82. Let's switch those lanes up. 2071 is the time to beat. Wow, what a race. 2070 moves Numbskull to round number 2. Okay, next up, staged and ready in lane number 1. From Poverty Hollow, it's the 73 Camino, qualifying 26th overall, taking on the Chase Family Racing's Dodge Charger, qualifying 39th overall. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Wow, what a race. 2071 to 76. Let's switch those lanes. Camino with a 2071. That is the time to beat. Oof, kept up but not. 2064. Wowzer. Poverty Hollow. Moving on to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready. Qualifying number 7 overall in lane 1. From Milestone Racing, it's his 71 Plymouth Roadrunner. Taking on the 58th qualifier overall from Fat Dad Racing, it's the 64 Nova Chevy Wagon. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Roadrunner, 63 to 11. We'll switch the lanes. 2063 is the time to beat. Roadrunner putting down a 2057 Mylanta. Moving them on to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1, qualifying number 3 overall with his Gold Dot Roadrunner. It's 131 diecast. In lane number 2, from Steel City Mafia in the 76 Greenwood Corvette, qualifying 62 overall. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Roadrunner taking off 2065 to 17. Let's switch those lanes. 2065 is the time to beat. Roadrunner taking off like a shot. 2057 moving 131 to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1 is an 81 Ford Fairmont, which is going to be disqualified. Will run this round and will not be able to advance. Taking on the 30th qualifying overall for the Chase Family Racing in his 62 Corvette. Fairmont qualifying 35th overall. Who gets down the lane first? Corvette 2071 to 76. We'll switch the lanes. 2071 is the time to beat. Good race. 68 does beat a 71, but the Corvette Chase Family Racing advancing on a technicality to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1 from Umiri Racing. It's Jason in his 69 Johnny Lightning Camaro, qualifying 19th overall, taking on 131 Racing's Silver Dot Roadrunner in his 46th overall qualifying. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Johnny Lightning, wow, 65 to 85. Let's switch those lanes. Johnny putting in some overtime in Spider-Man. 2065 is the time to beat. Spider-Man out front, and he'll take it. Wow, 2059. Ooh-wee, Umi-ree. Going to round number 2. Next up in lane number 1, staged and ready. Qualifying 14th overall in his 67 50th anniversary Mustang from Umiri Racing, it's Kai. Taking on the 65 convertible Mustang from E67 Diecast, qualifying 51st overall. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Mustang versus Mustang. Kai driving out on him, 2063 to 94. Let's switch those lanes. A win here for Kai is going to set him up for the Camaro versus Mustang father and son battle in the next round. Let's see if he can hold him up. 2063 is the time to beat. 205.8, and Kai from Umiri Racing going to be taking on dear old Dad in round number 2. That is going to be exciting. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1, qualifying 11th overall in his 72 Charger. It's Poverty Hollow taking on Victor Fastlane from Nabi Ridge Dragway in his 70 Boss 302, qualifying 54th overall. Let's see who gets down there first. Wow, Charger took off 206.3 to 9.8. We'll switch the lanes. 206.3 is the time to beat. Charger 206.0. Oh my. Poverty Hollow moving on to round number 2. Okay, next up, staged and ready, qualifying number 43 overall from Hot Nuts Diecast in his Johnny Lightning Charger, taking on the 22nd overall qualifier at Captain K Racing. It's the 50th anniversary Mustang. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Mustang got the Charger 66 to 77. Let's switch those lanes. 206.6 is the time to beat. Mustang got him. Moving on to the next round for Captain K Racing. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1, qualifying 27th overall in his 69 Mustang. It's Mr. BFG taking on the 38th overall qualifier in his Roadrunner from Hot Rod Customs. It's Mrs. Hot Rod. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Wow, Mustang 70 to 80. Let's switch lanes. 207.0 is the time to beat. And the Mustang. Wow, identical times. Look at that. 207.0 moving Mr. BFG in his rare 54-gram Mustang to the round number 2. All right, last race of round number 1. Staged and ready in lane number 1, qualifying 6th overall in his 61 Impala. It's Jason from Umiri Racing taking on the Grand Sport Corvette. Qualifying 59th overall, this is Puffs Racing. Wow, Impala 61 to 2115. We'll switch lanes. 206.1 is the time to beat. Wow, what a race. 205.6. Oh my Lanta Umiri. Rolling on to round number 2. And that is going to do it for round number 1. We certainly hope you are enjoying this broadcast of bracket number 2, Racing in the Pass Lane. We are going to take a break and get the crews out here to clean up some of the debris that has been left on the track after that dynamic first round of racing. We've got a barn burner in progress here, so stay tuned. Round number 2 will be shortly following, but first, a message from Slandman Customs. All right, welcome back to Racing in the Pass Lane, where the track is just about ready. We had to get an extra bulldozer out there, an extra shovel, cleaning off the debris after round number 1. We are about to get into round number 2 with a couple of 50th anniversary Mustangs. And again, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who sent in cars for this race. This has been a blast of a weekend. I couldn't have asked for a better weather pattern to come through here and snow these last 3 days. And this has been a lot of fun. So thank you for joining us for Racing in the Pass Lane 2024. I hope to do this again next year. Racing in the Pass Lane 2025. We'll come up with something different, I'm sure. And it's just been a lot of fun. So thank you to everybody who has participated in this event. Round number 2, staged and ready in lane number 1 from Ralph Udo Racing in his 50th anniversary Mustang, taking on Blue Line Racing in lane number 2 in his fast 50th anniversary Mustang. Let's see who gets down the lane first. This ought to be good. Wow, Blue Line with a 2:05.0 my Lanta to a 2:06.5. Let's switch lanes. And Ralph Udo Racing, first race in the States. Congratulations and welcome. And thank you for making your debut at Mile High Raceway. 2:05.0 is the time to beat. Wow, 2:04.6. Ooh-wee, that ties the high time from bracket 1. Wow, what a time. 2:05.8 by Ralph Udo. What a run. Just not enough to put out Blue Line. Great racing, gentlemen. Moves Blue Line to round number 3. Next up, staged and ready in lane number 1 from Northern Roads Racing in his Dodge Charger, taking on Bavarian Diecast Racing in his 1967 Shelby. Finland versus Germany in 3, 2, 1. What a race! 56 by the Shelby. Wazoo. Let's switch those lanes. Bavarian up with a 2:05.6, and that is the time to beat. Wow, close race. Northern Roads actually winning this time, but not a 2:05.6 for the first run. Bavarian Diecast moving himself to round number 3. Next up, staged and ready, it is Numbskull in his blue 67 Shelby, taking on Captain K's Roadrunner. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Plymouth versus Ford. Wow, Plymouth got out on him, 2:05.3. Ooh-wee. That Plymouth getting out for Captain K. 2:05.3 is the time to beat. Wow, look at him go. 2:05.6 to 6.8, and Captain K finds himself in round number 3. Next up, staged and ready. Can the mighty Redline Club car from Poverty Hollow take out the Fast and Furious Roadrunner from Milestone Racing? Unprecedented. 26 versus number 7 right here. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Wow, what a race. 54 to 64. Let's switch those lanes. What a valiant effort by the RLC. 2:05.4 is the time to beat. Wow, 63 to 60. What a race. But it's Milestone Racing moving on to round number 3. Moving over to the other side of the bracket in lane number 1 from the Chase Family Racing. It's his 62 Corvette taking on the 131 Roadrunner. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Plymouth versus Chevrolet. Wow. 55 to 69. Let's see. The lanes getting switched. 2:05.5 is the time to beat. Roadrunner taking off with a 55 to 69 again. Lanes running really sweet today. 131. Moving on to round number 3. All right, and up next, this is the matchup I've been waiting for. The second round. Umi Re-Racing versus Umi Re-Racing. Dad in the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro taking on son in his 1967 50th anniversary Mustang. Let's see who gets down the lane first. What a race. Oh, Kai got him by some unknown 10,000ths. Oh, my Lanta. Let's switch the lanes. Wow. If that isn't Kung Pao chicken, I don't know what is. Wow. 2058 is the time to beat. Kai, I know you are super stoked and probably making a lot of noise. Let's see if you can beat Dad on the track in 3, 2, 1. Oh no! Dad pulls it out with a 2056 in his Camaro. Oh my Lanta, what a race. That was epic. Umi Racing, Jason, moving on to round number 3. All right, staged and ready. It is Captain K's 50th anniversary Mustang taking on the Red Line Club from Poverty Hollow. Can he get that Challenger to round number 3, 2, 1? What a race. Look at him go. Wow, 2062 and a 7-0. Let's switch the lanes. 2062 is the time to beat. Oh, 2064 will not get it done. And Poverty Hollow with his 71 Redline Club Charger moving on to round number 3. And for the last race in round number 2, Mr. BFG in his 69 Mustang taking on Umi Racing. It's Jason in his 61 Chevy Impala. This ought to be a great race. Wow, Impala 55 to 65 will switch lanes. 2055 is the time to beat. Wow, what a race. But Umi moving his 61 Impala into round number 3. And then there were 8. About to kick off the quarters. And on the right side of the bracket is how we're going to roll. And here we go. The race getting into the semis. It's Bavarian Diecast Racing in lane 1 in his 50th anniversary Mustang. Switch that. Blue Line Racing in lane number 1 in his 50th anniversary Mustang, taking on Bavarian Diecast Racing in his 67 Shelby Mustang. This is going to be one great race. Wow, 4-8 to 5-7. Let's get him back up top. 2048 is the time to beat. Wow, good race. 4-6 once again by Blue Line, moving on to the semifinal round. Next up, it's a pair of Roadrunners in the blocks. In lane number 1 is Captain K's Racing. He's got to take on Milestone Racing in his Spectra Flame Roadrunner. This ought to be a really good race. Wow, neck and neck, 53 to 7. Let's switch those lanes. Milestone with the advantage at a 2053 is the time to beat. What a race. 5-3 to 5-6. Oh, man. Can you even believe it? And because Captain K beat him by another 1,000th, that's going to advance him onto the semifinal round. Wow, what a race. 5-3 to 5-6 beats a 5-3 to 5-7. And that's about as close as it's going to get, I think. But wait, there's more. Let's go to the other side of the bracket. Up next in lane 1, Umi Racing. It's Jason in that 69 Spider-Man Camaro, taking on 131 Diecast Plymouth Roadrunner. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Wow, Roadrunner 48 to 57. Oh my Lanta. Oh my Lanta. 2048 is the time to beat. Wow. 2048 in the first run is going to send Captain K Racing to the semis. Sorry, that is 131 Diecast. My fault, guys. This is exciting. All right, who's going to face 131 in the semifinal round? Umi Reed with another shot in lane number 2 in his 61 Impala. He's got to get past that super sharp Redline Club car from Poverty Hollow in 3, 2, 1. Wow, what a race. 57 to 63. Let's switch those lanes. 2057 is the time to beat. What a race. Woo! And Umi Re-Racing is going to be going to the semifinal round. What a race. So heading into the semifinals, Umi Re-Racing will be taking on 131 Diecast Racing. And Blue Line Racing will be taking on Captain K Racing in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, what a race. 48 to 53. Let's switch lanes. 2048 and 53. 2048 is the time to beat. Wow, 48 and 55. And Blue Line Racing is on his way to the Bracket 2 final. Who will it be? Will it be 131 Racing or Umi Re in lane number 2? Let's find out. What a race. 57 to 60. Umi Re is one win away from going to the final race in bracket number 2. 2057 is the time to beat if 131 wants to play spoiler. 2054 to 56. Oh my Lanta. Wow. That was an awesome race. And 131 Diecast will be taking on Blue Line in the final race of bracket number 2. Who's it going to be to meet Scale Racing Channel in the final race? Will it be Blue Line or 131 Diecast? And before we get to our third place race for the bracket 2, we're going to take a look at some footage from yesterday of Blue Line Racing hanging out with Brandon over at Scale Racing Channel. And there they are. You can see him sitting back after bracket 1, taking it easy. Of course, Brandon rolling in with his BMW. And we got Tim over there in his Pontiac Trans Am, hanging out at the tents, waiting for bracket 2 to unfold. Looks like Tim is getting ready to get back and race this final. Let's see how it all shakes out right after this.
Hey, boy, that's the car.
What's wrong, officer?
Boy, you're in a heap of trouble. Violation City Orders 11-14, operating a racing type vehicle inside the city limits.
Oh, officer, this is the new Dodge Challenger RT. It's not a racer.
Ain't I? What kind of tires, them, boy?
Optional polyglass GTs.
Racing tires. Them stripes, them, boy, what you call those?
Racing stripes.
I suppose that's a reconverted lawnmower motor.
Optional 440 Magnum V8.
What's that doohickey in there, boy?
Well, that's a new optional slapstick racing shift. So look, it's got concealed wipers, and it's got dual headlights. You don't find that on any racer, do you?
Careful, boy. Our bookkeeper's as a law officer.
If you can handle the way people react to your 1970 Dodge Challenger, you could be Dodge material.
Now look, boy, I know a race car when I see one.
All right, we are back racing in the pass lane. This is going to be the race for third in lane number 1. For third place in the second bracket, this is Umi Re Racing in lane number 1 with the 61 Impala taking on Captain Kirk Racing, or Captain K Racing. I did it again. And his Roadrunner for third place. Let's see who takes it for bracket number 2. Wow, what a race. The Roadrunner 53 to 60. Kenny Impala best a 2053. No! 2057 55. What a race. So Umi Re Racing will finish 4th in the bracket number 2. And here we go with the final of bracket number 2. First racer to cross the line 3 times is going to be your bracket 2 winner. In lane number 1, Blue Line Racing in his 50th anniversary Ford Mustang, taking on 131 Diecast Racing in his Plymouth Roadrunner. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Wow, what a race. Blue Line, 2049 to 58. Let's switch the lanes. 2049, Blue Line up one race. 3, 2, 1. What a race. 4-6 to 4-8. Oh my Lanta. Blue Line Racing up 2 races to 0 in 3, 2, 1. What a race. Oh! He comes back with a 2048 to 49. 131 with a win under his belt. 2 races to 1. Can 131 do it again in 3, 2, 1? Oh, he does do it again. I can't hardly believe it. Oh my double Lanta. We are tied up at 2 races apiece. Gentlemen, the winner of this race is moving on to the very final race to face Brandon. Should I just go rearrange my sock drawer? I don't know. Let's make sure these guys are straight. Oh my Lanta. All right. 2 races apiece. Who wants it more? In 3, 2, 1. Oh, Blue Line pulls it out with a 2051. Oh, my double Lanta. What an incredible race. Wow. And there you have it, gentlemen. Wow, what an epic bracket race that was. Your winner of bracket race number 2, Blue Line Racing in his 50th anniversary Mustang. Congratulations. That is one fast anniversary car. Coming in number 2, what a valiant effort. 131 Diecast Racing in his Fast and Furious Plymouth Roadrunner. And another exceptional run by Captain K Racing in his 70 Plymouth Roadrunner. Gentlemen, that was spectacular. And there it is. For the final race to determine the overall winner, it will now be bracket winner number 1, Scale Racing Channel in his 61 Chevy Impala, taking on bracket 2 winner Blue Line Racing in his 50th anniversary Ford Mustang. Same rules apply. The first car to win 3 races is going to be determined your stock race winner for Racing in the Pass Lane 2024. Are you ready? Who gets down the lane first? What a race! 4-8 to 4-9. Blue Line up 1 race. 2048 to 49. Wow, 2048 dead tie. Oh my double triple Lanta. What is this? What is this? So far, only 1 win by Blue Line Racing. Let's go. Wow, the Impala taking that one. Steady as she goes. 1 race apiece. In 3, 2, 1. Wow, this is amazing. Wow. The Impala pulling off his 2nd win. Whoo, even my heart is racing fast. 2 to 1. 61 Impala up. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Oh, it's Blue Line! And we are tied up 2 races apiece. I tell you what, if I wasn't standing up holding the camera, I'd be tied to my seat on the edge of it. The next one to win is going to be your overall winner. And whoever that is, man, you have a fast car. And oh my Lanta. I'm just going to make sure they're straight. Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure they're nice and straight. No room for error. Hang on, I'm going to go check the stop bag. We're all good there. All right. This is for all the marbles. Racing in the Pass Lane 2024 final race in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, my Lanta! What an incredible finish to this race, gentlemen. That was absolutely amazing racing. Congratulations to the Scale Racing Channel for being your overall winner out of both brackets. 64 cars racing their engines out, and the 61 Impala from Scale Racing takes the brackets. Blue Line Racing will be absolutely second place in this race. That is one fast anniversary car. Congratulations, gentlemen. That was epic. Which leaves us to determine who's third place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the second place winner from the first and second bracket and the third place winner from the first and second bracket. We're going to race them off, and the winners are going to face each other to determine who is third place for Racing in the Pass Lane 2024. Racing in the Pass Lane, second place from bracket 1 is Brandon at Scale Racing Channel in his Roadrunner. And from bracket 2, second place is 131 Diecast in his Plymouth Roadrunner. Oh my Lanta, oh my Lanta, oh my Lanta. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Wow, 2057 to 65 will switch lanes. 2057 is the time to beat. And 55, Scale Racing Channel taking this one. And the third place winner from bracket number 1 is Blue Line Racing in his other 50th anniversary Mustang, taking on the third place winner from bracket number 2, Captain K Racing, with his Plymouth Roadrunner. Winner will take on Brandon's Roadrunner to determine absolute third place. Good race. 55 to 56, Blue Line up. 2055 is the time to beat. Ooh, 2057 won't do it. And what do you know it? For third place, Blue Line Racing taking on Scale Racing Channel. What an epic race. This has been tremendous. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Wow, Blue Line 2051 to 55. Let's switch lanes. Blue Line Racing up with a 2051, and that is the time to beat. 2053, and Blue Line Racing will also be your third place overall for Racing in the Pass Lane 2024. Racing off the Big Three from the 1960s and 70s. Congratulations, Brandon at Scale Racing Channel and Tim at Blue Line Racing. Gentlemen, these are some of the fastest cars on the planet for these muscle cars. And now for a little bonus racing, as advertised and mentioned. Dad's race team, or Elevation Diecast, is going to face the winner. So we're going to determine who that is by Isaiah's race team racing his two off with his El Camino and his Mustang. And this was actually a gift from Bavarian Diecast. So thank you very much for allowing us to have these. Isaiah's race team. Let's see who he's going to get to race Dad's race team in 3, 2, 1. Woo, 2066. El Camino needs to beat, well, the Mustang needs to beat a 2066 in greater than 10 thousandths. Wow, 206.1 by the Mustang. Now let's see who he's going to race against Dad's race team. Will it be my Shelby or my Charger? Good race. 63 for the Shelby and a 10,000 speed. Shelby up by 10,000s. 206.3 is the time to beat. 206.3. Woo! And a bigger beat by the Charger is going to get it done. So Isaiah's race team versus Dad's race team will face the winner of Racing in the Pass Lane 2024. Wow, 61-62. Looks like Isaiah has tuned his car up a little better than Dad. 206.1 is the time to beat. Oh, and he gets him again. 206.1-62, and Isaiah's race team gets to square off against the champion, Scale Racing Channel. Oh, my Lanta son, your Mustang's fast. But it's not 61 Impala fast. And 205.3 is the time to beat. Wow. And that's gonna do it for the stock portion of Racing in the Pass Lane. That was some epic racing. This one's gonna go down in the books. Definitely for the ages. So coming up next will be all of these modified. The modified portion of Racing in the Pass Lane. Might put up a quick car show before I show this race, since I had to niche the live session. Racing in the Pass Lane, modified entries. There are 55 cars all together. And amazingly enough, 2 from the Troll, Jerry Holly. Aside from that, after the dust settles and we get the track back clean again, it'll be the gift car race. And this is just a small preview. The rest are in the speed shop getting worked on. These cars will be racing in the gift car race. These have already been to the speed shop, every one of them. Mr. and Mrs. BFG, thank you for sending these in. And a whole host of others. I will be doing a video before the gift car race to show you who brought what and let you kind of pick a favorite. Hippie Wild Child Racing, these are really nice. Everything's been treated. So from all of us over here at Elevation Diecast Racing, Racing in the Pass Lane 2024 has come to an end. There it is. Congratulations again, and thank you everybody for participating. We will see you for the modified portion of this race. If your car isn't fast, keep working. A lot of you are getting faster. See ya.